Dwight David Yoakam was born on October 23, 1956, in Pikeville, Kentucky, and later raised in Columbus, Ohio, where the sounds of classic country music quietly shaped his imagination. His childhood was filled with the voices of legends like Buck Owens, Merle Haggard, and Hank Williams drifting from radios and record players, planting seeds that would later define his artistic identity. Unlike many young musicians who chase whatever is popular, Yoakam developed a deep appreciation for authenticity early on. The twang of the electric guitar, the plain-spoken storytelling, and the emotional honesty of traditional country resonated with him in a way few other styles did. These influences were not just passing interests, they became the emotional backbone of his career. From a young age, he understood that music was more than entertainment. It was a language capable of expressing longing, pride, heartbreak, and hope, all at once. A bold move and an unlikely beginning. In the early 1980s, Yoakam faced a challenge that many artists encounter: finding a place where his sound truly belonged. Nashville at the time leaned toward a polished pop country direction that didn't fully align with his raw, traditional style. Rather than changing himself to fit the trend, he made a bold and unconventional decision. He moved to Los Angeles. It was there, in a city more associated with rock and punk than country, that Yoakam discovered an audience who valued individuality and sincerity over genre labels. Performing in small clubs alongside alternative and roots bands, he slowly built a loyal following. His music stood out because it felt genuine and fearless, a bridge between past and present. That period of persistence and experimentation laid the groundwork for what would soon become one of the most distinctive voices in modern country music, proving that sometimes the long road leads exactly where it should: breakthrough success and signature sound. Yoakam's breakthrough arrived in 1986 with the release of Guitars, Cadillacs, etc., etc., an album that immediately set him apart from his peers. The record carried a refreshing blend of traditional country rhythms and modern energy, appealing to longtime fans of the genre while attracting new listeners who were discovering country for the first time. Songs like Honky Tonk Man and the title track showcased his unmistakable vocal style. Clear, slightly nasal, and full of emotion. What made the album special wasn't just the music itself, but the confidence behind it. Yoakam sounded like an artist who knew exactly who he was and had no intention of compromising that identity. The success of the album launched him into national recognition, opening doors that had once seemed closed. It also signaled a turning point for country music, reminding audiences that tradition and innovation could exist side by side without losing their soul. Artistry, image, and songwriting craft. As his career gained momentum through the late 1980s and 1990s, Dwight Yoakam became known not only for his music, but also for his distinctive image and meticulous songwriting. Albums such as Hillbilly Deluxe, Buenas Noches from a Lonely Room, and this time solidified his reputation as both a traditionalist and a creative risk-taker. His lyrics often explored themes of loneliness, resilience, and romantic uncertainty, yet they never felt distant or abstract. Instead, they sounded personal and lived in, as though each song carried a piece of real experience. Visually, his tight jeans, cowboy boots, and low-slung hat became part of his signature presence, blending classic country style with a modern edge. Beneath the surface, however, was a careful craftsman who paid close attention to melody, phrasing, and emotional pacing. His songs weren't simply recorded, they were carefully shaped stories meant to linger in listeners' hearts long after the final note faded. Stepping onto the silver screen beyond music, Yoakam demonstrated an impressive ability to cross into acting, bringing the same authenticity to film that he brought to the stage. His performance in Sling Blade in 1996 surprised many viewers, revealing a depth and intensity that proved he was more than a singer experimenting with another craft. He went on to appear in films such as Panic Room, The Newton Boys and Logan Lucky, portraying characters that were often complex and memorable. Acting allowed Yoakam to explore storytelling from a different angle, using expression and dialogue instead of melody and lyrics. What connected his music and acting was a shared commitment to truthfulness. He never seemed interested in superficial roles or performances. Each project added another layer to his artistic identity, showing that creativity is not confined to one medium. Romance, public attention, and personal balance. Like many public figures, Yoakam's personal life occasionally drew media attention, particularly during high-profile relationships that fascinated fans and journalists alike. These periods of visibility revealed the challenges of maintaining privacy while living in the spotlight. Yet, through it all, Yoakam generally remained reserved, preferring to let his work speak louder than headlines. Over time, he found a more settled and private happiness with photographer Emily Joyce, whom he married in 2020 in an intimate ceremony. Later that same year, the couple welcomed their first child, marking a deeply meaningful new chapter in his life. Fatherhood brought a sense of grounding and reflection, offering balance after decades of touring and recording. For an artist long associated with restless creativity, this quieter phase highlighted another side of his character, one focused on family, gratitude, and the simple joys that often remain unseen behind public achievements and applause. The Bakersfield connection and musical heritage. Throughout his career, Yoakam openly credited the Bakersfield sound, particularly the influence of Buck Owens, as a guiding force behind his musical direction. The Bakersfield style, known for its sharp guitar tones and straightforward storytelling, represented honesty and independence, qualities Yoakam deeply admired. Rather than merely imitating the style, he reinterpreted it for a new generation, ensuring it remained vibrant rather than nostalgic. His collaboration with Buck Owens on Streets of Bakersfield became a defining moment, uniting two eras of country music in a single powerful performance. The duet not only achieved commercial success, but also symbolized mutual respect between artists, separated by decades, yet connected by shared values. A complex friendship built on respect. When Dwight Yoakam later spoke about Buck Owens, his reflections revealed a relationship built on admiration, learning, and honest understanding rather than controversy. He described Owens as a figure who shaped his artistic confidence and encouraged him, sometimes indirectly, to remain true to his sound. Their interactions were not always simple, as strong personalities often bring moments of disagreement or distance, but those experiences contributed to mutual growth rather than conflict. Yoakam frequently emphasized that respect had to be earned and that Owens valued authenticity above flattery. Over time, their bond evolved into a meaningful professional and personal connection, marked by collaboration and shared performances. What stood out in Yoakam's recollections was gratitude rather than criticism, a recognition that mentorship is rarely perfect, but can still be deeply influential. Legacy of influence and continued performances. Even decades into his career, Yoakam remained an energetic and engaging live performer, known for concerts that blend nostalgia with freshness. Audiences often describe his shows as journeys through emotional landscapes, songs of heartbreak, humor, resilience, and celebration delivered with conviction and warmth. His ability to connect across generations speaks to the timeless quality of his music. While many artists eventually slow down or retreat from the stage, Yoakam maintained a steady presence, viewing performance as both privilege and responsibility. He continued to honor his influences while also presenting new material, ensuring that his artistry never felt static. This dedication helped preserve the essence of traditional country music in a rapidly changing industry. Reflection, truth, and enduring impact. When Dwight Yoakam reflected on Buck Owens and his own journey, the truth he shared was not scandalous or dramatic, but heartfelt and thoughtful. He spoke about gratitude, lessons learned, and the importance of standing apart when necessary. His perspective highlighted that influence is rarely one-dimensional. It is a blend of inspiration, challenge, and personal growth. Rather than focusing on sensational narratives, Yoakam's reflections underscored respect for those who came before him and appreciation for the path they helped illuminate. His career, spanning music, film, and live performance, demonstrates how authenticity can sustain relevance across decades. Ultimately, the story is less about revelations and more about recognition, the acknowledgement that great artists are shaped by the people who inspire them.